So if you're a beginner, you've come to the right place because today we're going to be going over 10 more tips. We just dropped a video on 10 tips for beginners. Today we're talking about 10 more. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the X1 Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. So for those of you who have talked to me about the frames dropping in my videos on YouTube, I just want to say I appreciate you. So what had happened was my camera was telling me I was getting 60 frames and my OBS was telling me I was getting 60 frames, and then I would edit my video and then it would show on the file that I was in 60 frames. So I had 3 different sources. I don't know why I couldn't put it together that I just wasn't getting that amount of frames. Fixed the issue. So now I'm getting those frames and I truly appreciate you guys. So this video is for you guys who said that in the comments. Thank you so much. Now we are back to HD videos. We also got some other computer upgrades and I'm excited. For those of you who don't care anything about that, let's get right into the tips. Before we do, I just want you guys to know I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at, what time do I stream? Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream. It's usually a fantastic time. Let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1's coming from a place of being a brand new player and coming to the dealers and knowing that you can sell things to these dealers, but not knowing who to sell to, when to sell to them, and what to sell to them. Now, what we're gonna do is I actually just got done a quick scav run because I wanted to have random assortment of items. That way, when you guys do a scav run, like I've been telling you in the first top 10 tips video, do your scav runs, you're gonna come back with something looking like this. We have some armor, we have a backpack, we have some magazines, we have ammo, sugar, lamps, like we have some random items here. So we're gonna go through the 3 traders you should be in priority selling to. Number 1 is going to be therapists. Always choose therapists first, at least in the beginning. Now, let me make a disclaimer. I would recommend to get your rep up with your traders, selling to a specific trader you normally wouldn't be selling to. So instead of selling to skier, maybe sell to prepor, or if you're maybe instead of selling to mechanic, sell to peacekeeper, whatever the case is, because you want to level up your traders. You don't want just these 3 to be leveled up. But if we're not talking about that aspect and we're talking about being a beginner player, who should you sell to? We're going to go therapist. What you're going to do is you're going to go to therapist, you're going to go buy, you're going to click sell. When you go to sell, this is what is called vendoring items. So when people say, are you going to vendor it for this much or are you going to sell it on the flea? It's versing the flea market versus the traders. So now we have all these random items and we're going to begin to choose. Okay, it's loading real quick. 1 second. Sorry about that. That was weird. So we're in sell and now we're going to start to see all of these random items that sell to therapists. So we have our cheese, our A1. We're going to go ahead and sell these. So we're just going to left control, mouse 1, and that's going to do that. Ooh, something's done in the hideout. Nice. Salewa. And then we're going to start selling these things. Now, mind you, as you play the game longer, you're going to realize that some of these things vendor for way cheaper than they do on flea market. And then you're going to realize that some of these sell vendor for way more than they do on flea market. So as you keep that in your mind, you're going to vendor less things or different things and then so forth. So we're just, for the sake of the video, we're going to go ahead and vendor most of these things. Now I'll explain why. We're not going to do all these items. We're going to vendor that, screws. We don't need that. So, and we'll do that. So we're going to get 27,000 from that. Go ahead and do that. Now, in the TikTok video, I explained to you guys, all the links you guys need will be down below. These are the lamps that you guys want to keep so that you can sell them 1-to-1 trade for the RGD grenades. I do it every single time with lamps. I go through a lot of grenades and it saves me money because I don't have to buy them. You can also find them on flea market for sometimes like around 6K. I'll just buy them all up because that's a really, really cheap grenade. So I'm going to keep these and not vendor them. And then sugar. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to vendor this for 2,000 rubles when I know that I can sell it on flea market right now for like 75,000 rubles. So we're going to leave the sugar. We're going to go to the next person. The next one is skier, therapist, skier, mechanic. Now, skier is going to buy another variety of items, right? He's buying magazines. He's going to buy a respirator. Now, when it comes to this role, just do it this way, but also know that when it comes to armor, when it comes to bags, anything that is like something you wear, the apparel, armor, all that stuff, Ragman most of the time will buy it for more. Now, if you're not able to sell armor, you're going to need to repair that armor before you can sell it. And so in the beginning, you'll end up selling it to Fence because you don't know that you have to repair it first. And you're just like, I can't sell this. And he's the only one you can sell it to. So we have this. Now, before I sell this gun, we're going to vendor real quick. We're going to go to sell. We're going to go here, 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 here. We'll sell this, 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 and this. And I'm going to show you something with this gun. That way you guys can make more money when you're vendoring a weapon. So we're gonna do a deal right here. We're gonna go back into our inventory. We're gonna move this stuff around so we have a little bit of room. And we're going to disassemble, right click. Where is it? Oh my gosh. Disassemble. It's going to put it into these pieces. And now this one piece, which is like usually the lower and upper receiver or just the basic of the build, is going to sell for the same price that it would have without the pieces. So when you separate it, it makes it so that you're getting a little bit more money. Usually it's only 10 to 15% more, but depending on the weapon, that could be a lot more. And as you continue to play the game more, there's certain items like a PK06, you can sell that on flea market for like 40K and it only vendors for like 12K. So random things like that you're going to pick up on, but for right now we're going to do it this way, and then we're going to go to skier and we are going to sell what we can still. So we're going to go boom. Oops, we got to go to sell. We're going to go here, all these. Okay, so if you don't sell all that, what is left over is going to sell to mechanic, and we're going to go to sell, and we're going to sell him the ammo. And then lastly, I'm saving these two because I wanted to sell to Ragman because I know he's going to give me more, but you can also sell them to Skier. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go sell, and we're going to do this. And then for the sake of the video, I'm just showing you Jaeger is going to take knives. If you're like, dude, who takes knives? Jaeger takes knives. So the last one we're going to sell is the knives. Tip number 2 is good ammo is always better than good guns. If you can only choose one, do not be the person who puts $150,000 into a lifted truck with tiny little donut tires because you couldn't afford to do the tires as well. That is exactly what this is like when you see guys run 150K builds, but they're using terrible trash ammo. Now in the beginning, it's not your fault because you don't have that many vast options of good ammo. But what you could do is you can go to, we have this in the Discord, you guys could join that, link is in the description, and I'll also put it up here. But know that No Food After Midnight, he's a streamer, content creator, he's the one who makes these EFT ammo charts. So No Food, thank you so much, man. We really all as a community appreciate these charts. They're very thoroughly done. It tells you how the chart works up here, and he's very on top of like changing it when there's ammo changes. You're gonna go down, it's gonna show you every single ammunition that's in the game, and it's going to give you these numbers, and it's gonna, if you ever hear people talk about pen damage, now I'm not going to do a full ammo video right now, I'm going to do a completely separate video, so look out for it. That's going to be how to choose the best ammo, what the ammo chart reads like, all of that stuff. But basically what you have to know is you're going to grab your ammo. So like, let's take a common ammunition you get in the beginning, PS 545 ammo, right? That's going to give you 50 damage, and it's going to give you 25 penetration. That means when we look at the chart, you're going to be penning level 2 armor, penetrating level 2 armor. You're going to have a tough time penning level 3 armor or above. Scavs can have up to, I think 3. I don't think I've fought a scav that had higher than level 3, except for like raiders maybe. But I mean, even fighting scavs, this isn't an amazing round. When you get T from proper, it's going to be at 57 damage. It's going to be at 20 pen. You're barely penning level 2 armor, which means you need to know this because it's going to help you decide where to shoot, right? So if I have 57 damage and only 20 pen, I'm going to be shooting your legs, your arms, or trying to hit you in the face. I'm not going to be going for your armor because it's not going to penetrate. And that's pretty much how you judge. So the very high damage is going to go for like limbs, leg meta, in the face. And then when you have the high pen, you're going to know that I'm going to wreck your armor, so it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to go for whatever shot you honestly want. Thorax, stomach, it doesn't matter. And that's pretty much how it works, and that's going to go for helmets as well. Please, I'm telling you, you will win more fights. Use the best ammo you can. It's way better to run a jankier gun with better ammo than it is to run an amazing, aesthetically pleasing weapon with terrible ammo. You will still lose the fight. Tip number 3 is offline mode. Offline mode is your friend. I know you don't gain XP, and even in the beginning, I don't want to run it. I was like, I'll just scav in and I'll just learn. Offline mode is your friend. We're going to go into a raid right now. It's going to take us to this screen. Instead of just pressing next right here, you can enable offline mode for this raid. Now there's many things you could use this for. You could use it for learning maps. You could use it for scouting out your tasks and quests ahead of time so you know where to go. You could use it for learning how to do stash runs. You could use it for scav practice and learning how to use the gun in real battle. You can use it in the hideout, but if you want to use it in actual combat, your gun in action, healing in action, your keybinds in action, all of that stuff can happen right here in offline mode. You can also learn the spawns. I mean, you can literally do everything in offline mode, and you're going to choose random weather conditions, random time. Enable PvE is what you're going to click for the AI and the scavs. You can do scav bosses, scav war, tagged and cursed, so you just have them coming at you like crazy. You could have as online mode, or you could do easy, medium, hard, impossible, random, they choose for you. Then you have low, medium, high, and horde for the amount. So I mean, you can literally just go in there and see how long you can survive, practice all of your headshots. It's really, really good to utilize this mode. Okay, we just spawned in the raid. Tip number 4 is check your ammo. Now, this is going to be left, alt, and T for the keybind, and what it's going to do is going to tell you what type of ammunition you have and how much you have left of it. Now, we can do this for multiple reasons. One, it's going to let you know, because sometimes when we get into a gunfight, we lose track of how many rounds we shoot, especially if you're using an automatic weapon. It's a little bit easier when using like a shotgun or a pistol, but you can easily see. The other thing is when you're picking up a weapon off of a scav or a dead player, you don't know what type of ammunition they're using. So you can right away check to see what type of ammo is this guy running, to see if you want to use your own magazines or their magazines and so forth. So the other thing we can do is, after we've shot so many rounds, whatever we shot, 6, 7, 15, it doesn't matter, you're going to hit tab and it's going to have a question mark, right? We don't know how many are in there because we haven't checked. You can hit middle mouse button, and then all of a sudden you'll get a little loading thing, and it's going to tell you half, or about half. So we have about 30 rounds left in this magazine. Okay, so tip number 5 is going to be walking quietly. This is very, very important, being that audio is one of the main things that affects this game. Now, how we're going to do this, first I want you to hear how loud you are when you're just walking, not running. Actually, let's do running and then walking. So this is running. Very loud. Now let's do regular walking. Still pretty loud. Now what we're gonna do is, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use your mouse scroll wheel. Okay, so just for this part, I made sure that I turned off my camera because it blocks the little left corner right here. But what you're gonna do is, you see the little guy standing up, his silhouette. You're gonna start to see the arrow moving back and forth on that little analog. What I'm doing is I'm using my mouse wheel, and as I scroll down, it gets quieter. This means you're gonna get slower, making you quieter. And you can do as much as you want like this, or if you want to instantly be quiet and be as slow as possible, you hit caps lock. See how that instantly goes all the way to the left? Then when I hit it again, it goes all the way back to the right. The same thing is gonna be when you're crouching, so let's try it. So we're walking normal, we start to slow down. See how I'm slowing down? It's quieter. Way quieter. Now we're gonna do it crouching. Crouch walk regular is always gonna be quieter. You guys can literally barely hear it. The other thing you have to note is when you walk on certain items, even if you're walking quietly, it can be louder, like wood. See hear that? Or metal. This automatically can let people know where you're at if they know the map well enough. Tip number 6 is going to be quests and tasks. Now, although we can argue all day with different people what the point of this game is, but I feel like that's one of the more common questions for new players is, so what's the point of this game? Are we escaping from Tarkov, right? We make the joke, and we're trying to figure out what you need to do in this game. Now, if you feel a little lost, or in general, just to get better game sense, this will give you sometimes really good loot as your reward for completing it. It gives you a challenge to complete. It gives you like a goal in your mind. I feel like a big part of Tarkov is knowing why you're doing stuff or what you need to do when you go into raids. And then sometimes, sure, you're just going in and whatever happens, happens. But you're going to go to all of these traders, and we are covering right now all of Proper's tasks on YouTube, so you can find some of these if you need help. And then also we're going to be going through everybody else as well. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to tasks, and you're going to start going through all of these tasks that you need to complete, and they're going to have you go to different parts of different maps doing different things. Now, you're not going to be able to avoid PvP interaction is just going to happen, but at least you get XP for stuff that you can complete right here, and it tells you plain and simple, this is what you need to do. And if you need help, you can always check out my YouTube videos. If I haven't done it yet, you could also always use Tarkov Wiki, and there's also a bunch of great Tarkov YouTubers in the community that have probably covered guides for the tasks and quests that I haven't yet, so feel free to check out some of them as well. Tip number 7 is using linked search. Now, what linked search does is it takes the item that you're right-clicking or clicking on, and when you hit link search on that item, like this gun, for instance, that I'm going to show you guys, it's going to take all of the items in the flea market that correspond to that item and list them for you. So it separates them and makes it like a subcategory, so you can see exactly what you need to get. Because as a new player, it's daunting coming into here with all these different weapons, all these different attachments, all these different ammo types. So when you come in here, you're like, I don't know what scope I could put on. I don't know what handguard to use. All of that stuff, you're going to right click and you can hit link search right here, or if you're already in the weapon selection, you can hit link search right here. Either way, what that's going to do is that's going to pull this up, and now this is just the main things that it's representing, but you're going to go to weapons and parts. What magazines could I use on this weapon? These are all the magazines that I can use on this ADAR. What charging handles are available? They're all right here, and so forth, all the way to ammo. This is probably one of the more common things we use link search for, is in the beginning, you don't know what ammo goes with what gun. And so even though it's a 5.56, you might not know, like, well, still, what ammo needs to go with this gun. And so you're going to hit link search, and these are all the ammos that you can get for here. Now, these aren't necessarily linked in like best to worst. So this bottom Warmage isn't going to be the best, and 55 FMJ going to be the worst. So just make sure you correspond to the ammo chart like we talked about in the earlier tip, and then you guys can check all the individual ammos, and then you can find them on flea market, or you can find them on vendor. So tip number 8 is use grenades. These are so useful in this game. You just have to be really careful, especially in the beginning, because G just throws a grenade. It does not put it in your hand unless you throw it. Like some other games, it will just throw it. But like, for instance, we're approaching dorms on customs. This is a great example of when a grenade would be super useful. If the guys are shooting you through these bushes and you can't really see them, right? You're like, dude, I don't know. I know they're in these bushes, but I don't know where they're at. You could just toss a nade into these bushes, and most likely you're going to get that kill. Now, something else that could really help you is if you want to keybind your grenade, right, and not go out of the priority of your pocket. Say you want to throw one in this window, but you're scared you're not going to be able to just press G and do it. What you can do is hit tab, and see, I have one bound to 9. You can bind them to whatever you want. The priority usually goes, though, pockets first. So like, for instance, if you want to prioritize flash grenades versus regular grenades, then you can put whatever you want in your pockets. It'll go left to right, and then it'll pull it out of your rig after that. But we're going to go ahead and press 9, since that's what we have a grenade. And what it does is it puts it in our hand. Now we can aim, we can throw it softer, we can do whatever we want. So if I want to throw it in a specific window, I could just go like this, aim better, and now I get to throw it in the window without fear of just hitting G and missing or something. The other thing that grenades are really good for is when you're coming into a place like dorms. Another thing that you can do is if you want to peek this hallway, but you know somebody down the hall has line of sight, you can toss a grenade down the hallway and use that to distract them so that you can now push for line of sight. So what we could do is we can throw this, right? And then we can wait, and then we can start push. As soon as it explodes, we can push. And you can actually get your angle in. There's so many other things you could do. You could toss them into rooms when people are in here. So if somebody I know is in here, I can actually just open this door and I can throw a nade in there, and I can do whatever. I can shut the door on them. I can throw it in the window. I can throw it down an area they can't escape from. I mean, you can do so many different things. Use grenades. So tip number 9 is going to be to save space in your backpack and be able to grab more things. And what that looks like is putting rigs or smaller backpacks in your backpack. Rigs are a little bit better because what rigs do is the amount of space the rig takes up usually gives you more spaces inside the rig. So it's almost like it's magic space, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do it. Say this was a dead body and we were gonna be looting this guy. We are gonna do this. And so what we're doing is this is gonna take up 9 spaces, 1, 2, 3, right here. And it's gonna give us 18 spaces. That's double the amount of space if we use the rig. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna just start putting stuff inside the rig, right? So let's put enough to give this space right here. Let me show you how we could do this. And and then now I have the ability to take it. Now the rig's in here. Now that it's in backpack, you could literally just pull it in. You can keep checking to see how much space you have. So we have 4 right there. So we can just go like this. That's it. It's full, and look at how many spaces we have left after filling this up. It literally gave us double the space of that 9. So this is definitely a good way, and we get to keep the rig. So whoever you killed and has this rig, now you don't have to leave it there and be like, oh, I don't have space for it. Just fill it up, and now you have more space. So the very last tip, tip number 10, is choose what magazine you want to reload with. Now, many times you're going to put different ammo combinations. You're going to top load and bottom load something, or you're going to have like a 60 round mag and a 30 round mag, or a 20 and a 30, whatever the case is. And you're like, man, I don't want to just keep reloading until I get the right one. I want to choose. How do I do that? It's very simple. You're going to press R, but you're going to hold it instead of pressing it. And then you're going to put the mouse wheel, scroll, and look at our magazines pop up. So I can choose the 60 round mag. I could choose the other 30 round mag, or I could actually cancel that reload entirely. We're going to choose the 60, and it's going to reload it for us. We're going to do it again, and it's going to choose this 30 right here. And then we want to choose the other 30. We're going to switch it again. You get to choose whatever magazine you want, so you don't have to worry about where they are in your rig. Well, that wraps it up for 10 more tips, guys. Make sure if you guys haven't checked out the first 10 tips, go check that out. So then you'll have 20 tips. If you guys got any value out of this video, make sure you smash that like button. It goes a long way for the channel. It makes it so that more people can see the video on YouTube, and it makes me appreciate you guys a ton. Also, shout out to Battle State for putting my video on the launcher, which was super sick. The retweet, I really appreciate it, you guys. I know you guys probably aren't binging my videos right now, but if you ever see this video, I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to see more content like this, I drop 3 to 4 Tarkov videos a week. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the little bell if you never want to miss an upload. Last reminder that I do stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. PST. I'd love to have you guys by the stream. We have a lot of fun over there, whether you guys want to talk about this stuff live, get into some raids, or just hang out. It would be my absolute pleasure to have you guys by. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope your raids are absolutely plentiful. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Fresh beef tuna. That looks like it had mold on it. Hold up, dude. Do you guys see that right now? What is that, blue cheese crumbles on my beef?